For the Stars of Tomorrow, presented by Youth Hockey Hub, today's game is the championship game between the girls 2015 visitors, Team West, and the home team today, Team East. And now for today's starting lineup, first let's welcome the visitors of Team West, starting in goal from lane number 1, Reese Stevens. At defense from Albert lane number 11, London Tubb. And from Orno number 15, Ella Reininger. At wing from Violet, Minnesota, number 4, Natalie Van Abel. And from Wayzata, number 22, Harper Schindler. And at center for Team West from Brand, number 7, Cora Diaz. Please welcome out the rest of Team West, reported today by Ryan Hartle. And now please welcome the goal for Team East from Miami, number 30, Presley Sheehan. At defense from Lakeville, number 6, Valerie Gibson. And from Cottage Grove, number 12, Kendall Johnson. At wing from Media, number 4, Riley Whiteoff. And from Lakeville, number 10, Lady Davis. And at center for Team East from Lakeville, number 3, Kira Youngville. Please welcome the rest of Team East, they're coached today by Joey Whiteside. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise as we're able to move your couch, face the flag in honor of America with our Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say can you see our colored lights? What so proudly we hail with the twilight's last gleam, whose rough stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, o'er the ramparts we watch, for so gathers we stream, and the rockets
back in Shakopee for game number 2 of 5 here today, the finals. Final day of the Stars of Tomorrow event for 2025. To our left is the West, to our right is the East. In the 2015 age bracket, Reese Stevens in goal to our left, and Presley Schiller in goal to our right. These teams played in the preliminary round just last night, and it was a 2-1 victory for the West, and we are underway. And they have the puck. Give it up in front. Here's Lainey Davis sweeping it up the middle, and now the East will start back. Over skating is Weigel at center. Carrying on is Kira Johankin over the line, and now it winds up in the corner, finally behind the net. Here's a steal from Davis, centers it. Ooh, and it comes through to the left edge. Now loose in the slot, and finally steered over to the near boards where Diaz has it for the West and plays it to the line and out. And that's center for the East. It's Klegstad, and it goes all the way across now to the far side, and Johnson after chipping one out to center ice. Now they'll scrap for it there, and finally carried into the East zone. Again, 18-minute halves we're playing here. Now the East will start out, and then a pass ahead from center by Mallory Klegstad will go the length, but not far enough for icing. Madison Fritsch clears it around on the far side, and now played to the boards and finally shoved to her knees. Coco Borgen playing it ahead for the East, now loose in the circle. And They'll play for it there. Borgen has it again. And Borgen goes down behind the net, looking to center it, and bouncing puck won't sit down for Emmy Gotch, and now cleared back, and here comes the West over the line. Libby Custard over the line, playing it to the far side. Klegstad takes it behind the net and then stops. Comes out the far side. Klegstad with the wings on both sides will come over the line and now drops it to the middle, and it's picked off by Hadley Hone and now played to the wall. Klegstad will play it down. And finally it's played all the way back into the east zone. And we'll get a icing call. Perhaps a bit unusual. As we look at this game, the West is heading east and the East is heading west. So that might be a issue for your broadcaster here. We certainly hope not, as the play played back behind the West goal. And it's played past Elise Liu and comes all the way back into the East zone. And East will go back for it. Now here's a giveaway and a centering pass. First good chance of the game, and a shot by Nielsen. Grace Nielsen stopped by Presley Schiller. And we'll get a face-off. Leading scorers for these teams. Ryan Miller for the East with 7. And Maddie Fritsch with 4 for the West. And now comes out to center. And here's Jenny Talafas playing it ahead into the zone. And if that name is familiar to you, it should be. Grandfather Dean, a former North Star. Now here's a backhanded shot once, twice, and a follow-up by Ashlyn Martindam winds up going over the goal as East puts on some pressure there. Finally comes on out to center, and the West will break into the zone. And here's Ruby Heath, and winds up shoved off the puck. Elise Liu goes after it with her along the boards, and now it winds up in the corner. And finally it's fished out of there, and now a pass to center ice picked up by Charlotte Hansen. Can't play it past the defender Heath. And now Hansen again. Left side feeds it up the middle, and controlled now by Martindam over the line. And we'll take it wide. Now we'll stop, start, comes around, centers it. Oh, a good point-blank chance in front, and a good stop by Stevens on Lainey Davis. And we'll have a face-off in the West zone. Reese Stevens with the save. Davis bidding for second goal of this event. 2:28 gone in the first. Puck trickles over to the far side. Weigel tries to center, and that's intercepted by Harper Nugent. Can't play it. And now Nugent again at the left edge, had it dribble off the stick. It comes up the slot, and a shot by Johnson is blocked. Now a long clear is held by Miller. Now they come off the wall, a centering pass on a good chance in front for Weigel, a sprawling stop by Stevens. And now clear it over to the right boards, Kendall Johnston. Over to Miller. And Miller couldn't get it to sit down and winds up playing it behind the net. Now it comes over to the far side, and the West will finally get control. They bank it ahead, and it comes out to center. Johnson has to chase it back. Johnson swinging around Natalie Van Abel and playing it to center, blocked by Weigel, who shoots it in. Now Weigel behind the goal. Centers it, and got lost her balance as the puck went against the post, and Stevens traps it there for a face-off. 13:27 to go in the first half. Jeff Pappas, my name, and we're glad to have you with us here on the Hub today for all 5 of the games on this rink. And the Stars of Tomorrow, 2025 style. Face-off to the right of Stevens in the West goal. And now a D-to-D pass nearly played out, and now it is. And here's Costa over the line for the West. Costa in the circle, backhands it towards the front of the net, deflected wide. And Borgen for the East. Now played back to center ice. Now play with the puck there. Costa can't get zone entry, and now it's stolen away, and here comes the East over the line. And here's Wilbin. on the backhand, and that goes wide. Nice set of stop-start moves there to get herself free, and now the West breaks back down the wing. Hadley Hone over the line. Centering pass is poked away and cleared to the far boards. Zoe Peterson after it there. Now it's picked up by the West. They try to center, nothing doing, and it winds up tipped on to center. And a nice play there. And now here's a 2-on-1 opportunity in deep, and the shot winds up sailing over the top as Borgen goes after it, tries her luck from the boards, and can't get it there, as Wilbin had the first part of that 2-on-1 for the East, and she heads to the bench on a change. And now West will play through center and play it on into the zone. We have 6 minutes gone in the first and no score in this 15s event. Banked out to center, and it's controlled by the West there with Ruby Heath in control. Then Heath drops it back to the defense and puts that defender under pressure on the forecheck as Talifas tried to get in. And now it comes to center, and it's tipped ahead by Ruby Heath, and that is going to go for an icing call. So we'll go back with 11:39 to go in the opening. If you missed it in the 2016s, it was the West over the South 3-1, and 2 goals in that game for Brooklyn Rath, player of the game, and that team runs the table in this event. Face-off coming up to the right of the East goal. There's a shot, and that changes direction and goes wide from Kendall Johnson. Now they come off the wall, a shot right on, and a save made. Good sneaky shot there by Martindam, and wound up putting it on. She has 4 goals in this event, which ties her with Miller for the team lead. East with 18 goals in this tournament. And they have 8-1 wins over the South and the North, and then that 2-1 win over the West last night. A rematch of that game here this morning. Comes on out to center, poke checked away, but carrying on now is Nielsen. And Grace Nielsen closing in, and that is intercepted. Comes to the far side for Heath. And now in front, and it's swept away by Schiller off to the near side. Here's a centering pass that's blocked by Miller. Plays it up the wall, and now here comes the East back. Here is Charlotte Hansen, and rink wides one. Martindam knocks it in deep and chases after it, pursued there by Grippentrog. And it winds up coming around to the near side. After it there, Miller. And then Miller goes down in the corner, and the puck picked up by Nielsen. And Nielsen in turn goes down, and those two have fought a running battle all the way down the ice. Now it's played behind the net, and the West controls again. And now it winds up cleared rink wide. West going after it. Nielsen there. Closed by Johankin, and now winds up coming to center ice. And Heath having some trouble with it. Carrying it on is Johankin, and now tried to backhand one ahead and couldn't get it through. And now it's cleared all the way back into the East zone. As we come up on 10 minutes to go in the first, Miller behind the goal. And here comes Ryan Miller down the wing. Will get zone entry on the near side and falls. Now picked up in the corner by Cora Diaz. Spins away and now feeds the right wing. And they have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. And over the line, it's Van Abel closing. There's the centering pass. There's a shot, and it goes wide from Nugent. Good chance there for the West as they break in 2-on-1. Now a bouncing puck at the point, fed to the circle, controlled by Davis. Back comes the East at center, 1 against 3. They're finishing a change, and now it's played on into the West zone. Nugent goes after it behind the net. Now Nugent plays to the near side. It's held by Elise Liu, and then played to the boards on the near side. Finally out to center, and it comes back into the East zone. Klegstad. And Klegstad has trouble, stripped of the puck by Van Abel, going right in, shooting and hitting the post on the right side. And the long rebound is cleared all the way down the ice. That'll be icing on the East, and we'll get a face-off back in their zone with 8:56 to go in the first. All 5 shots on goal for the East in this game, and the West with Natalie Van Abel just struck iron, so they don't even get a shot on goal for that. Now cleared and held at the left point by Fritsch. Played in front and finally steered to the corner on the near side. Up the wall it comes, trying to hold there is Aubrey Holloway. And it comes up the slot on the turn is Claire Kiefer, and now it winds up knocked away and out to center, and here comes Coco Borgen back for the East. They're over the line and played ahead, finally corralled in the corner by Hadley Hone, who winds up turning on the near side and playing it ahead, and it's going to get out to center. Lou will chase after it. Goes up the wall and back into the west zone. Fritsch has it. And now Costa with a pass to the left side. Here's Custard over the line, and Custard takes it to the dot, goes down, puts it through, and it comes to the near corner. Here's Borgen. Now still loose, and finally it's dug out and played behind the net by Emmy Gotch. A couple of points in this event, and now here comes the East back. Now a pass to the near side, and Borgen plays it in, but then lost out to Holloway, and it winds up loose in the right corner. 7.5 now to play in the first half. As up the wing boards it goes, and a pass is intercepted and brought in offside by Hansen, as Jenny Talafas was trying to clear the zone and was just a step away from doing that when the puck came back in the zone. Now picked up to the near side. And finally played into the zone, and Heath won it. It comes back to center ice, where it's controlled by Miller. Miller up the wall. Talafas over the line. Centers. Ooh, put it on goal, and Stevens has to make a save. We've got a face-off now with just under 7 minutes to play in the first. Coming up next, the 14s. East versus South in that one. Now it comes out to center. And here's a 2-on-1 developing. Here's Martindam over the line. Early pass for Hansen, and it winds up going to the corner. And now behind the goal, here's Grippentrog for the West. Stripped of the puck by Martindam behind the net. Tried to come in front, and the puck bounces off to the corner. Heath plays it ahead, and now West breaks out, but it's broken up at center ice by Kendall Johnson and then played to the red line. Now the West comes in over the line. A centering pass is going to come all the way through to the near side. A centering pass from the goal line by Schindel. And now it winds up controlled on the near side. Here comes the East. Pass to center ice, and they poke it ahead. And here's Martindam closing in. On the backhand, tried to get to the front of the net, and then was steered behind at the last moment. Now loose at the right edge and controlled by Schindel. Now Schindel falls. Here's a centering pass that comes all the way through to the right point, where it's held by Gotch along the boards. Now a drop pass, and they will play it out to center ice. Now back into the zone they come, and here is Miller with it. Miller closing, gets to the goal line, tries short side, and paid the price as she hit the goalpost and fell. And the stop made by Stevens against the post, but Ryan Miller going for the high-risk, high-reward play and wound up colliding with the right goalpost. Now, from the face-off, Johankin tries to play it in front, picked off, and now back comes the West. Here's Diaz over the line. Diaz shoots, and where did it go? It wound up going into the netting, wound up using the defender as a screen, and it's a nice idea, but didn't give her much in terms of space to put it on net, and it wound up going out of play. Puck swept to the blue line from the face-off. Everybody overskates, and now it comes to Klegstad, who can't clear. And it comes in front. And now played ahead. Now the East is able to get the puck to center ice. They have players trapped, so the West can't touch that puck, and it comes out to center ice. And now Klegstad will play it in. And they come to the boards. And now out to center, where it's backhanded back by Davis. Chasing after it is Weigel. Weigel in a contest there with London Tubbs as the puck comes over to the far side. Weigel plays it in and then runs into a roadblock there, wearing number 11 in the form of London Tubbs. And now Weigel tries again. Tubbs takes it away and plays it out to center ice. Now East claiming at neutral, and carrying over the line is Peterson, and it's offside, as Weigel is unable to clear the zone in time. 4:18 to go in the first. And we're scoreless here in the 2015s. Still to come, we have East and South in the 14s, North and South in the 13s, and East and South in the 12s. And now over the line. There's a shot, and a blocker save there. A rebound in front as Wilbin took the first shot, and Borgen wasn't able to steer the rebound on net. Now it's up the slot, picked up by Lou, takes the shot, and that goes wide to the far side. Now, try to come off the boards. Weigel centers. Oh, and a save made by Stevens. And we'll get a face-off as that one up going on goal, and we'll get a draw with 3:50 left. And the puck cleared right between the defenders and comes back into the east end. And here's Lou with it, making the turn and playing to center ice, and there to pick it up and carry is Zoe Peterson. Peterson to the corner. Now lets Borgen take it, centers it, and that's intercepted. Good idea there as the puck comes out to center ice and finally played on in by Hone, and now it's going to go to the left of the goal, and after it is Elise Lou behind the goal. 3:20 left. Lou plays it up the wing just a hair too far, and then it's turned around and played back by Costa. And now back behind the goal to the near side, and now here's a race for it. Loose in the high slot, a 50-50 challenge there. Finally controlled at center ice and played in by Hansen. And the West able to clean up there in front of the goal. Trying to play it out is Fritsch. And Fritsch has some trouble there. Winds up going behind the net. And it's stolen away by Hansen. Comes around behind the net. Tries to center it. And it's loose at the left edge of the goal crease. Finally cleared. And that's going to be held at the right point by Klegstad, who now closes. And then it's poked away, and Lou is going to have to hustle back for it. Pursued there by Custard. And now the centering pass is broken up by two white shirts, and it comes back to the corner. Gotch behind the goal for the East. Now Gotch down the wing, over the line, into the circle. A centering pass by Jenny Talafas. Knocked behind the net, less than 2 minutes to go, and here comes the West back. Rink wide, and now they break in. I believe that's Custard, backhanding it towards the front of the net. Now controlled, finally out to center, and it's picked up by Miller. Playing it in for the East, Ryan Miller tries to put it in front, and that's broken up. And it comes off to the near side. All right, now behind the goal. Played around Kiefer, and it comes to the near side. And here comes the East, and that's some good speed there. Late change off the bench as Davis comes in over the line, picked up by the defender Tubbs. Centering pass comes all the way through with less than a minute to go in the period, and now here's Nugent on the far side, playing it out to center. And over the line is Tubbs, getting some space, takes a shot, and it goes off Schiller. And wide to the near side, and now here's the East. Long pass up the middle is just a bit too far for Weigel, who chases after it, manages to save it from an icing, comes around behind the net, wraparound rebound, score! Johankin scoring for the East, and it is 1-0 with 31 seconds to go in our first of two halves. And the time of that goal is going to be 17 minutes and 28 seconds. And it's played out of the goaltender. We'll get a face-off in the East zone. And now here's a shot right on from the face-off as Scheller is called into action to make the stop. Shots are 8-3 for the East as they have the early advantage. But it's Kara Johankin scoring her second goal of this event. Now played to center. Weigel and Johnson getting assists on the goal for the East, and we have a penalty coming with 2.5 seconds to go. It's going to be either a body check or a rough. I'm not sure how that is going to play out, but we'll. Signal is for a rough. 2.5 seconds to go in the period and heading towards the penalty box is Holloway. And that's the end of the first half, so we'll come back after a quick rest here and bring you the second with a power play for the East. They lead 1-0 here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Back in Shakopee for our second half of our second game. It's a power play for the East for 1:58 as we get started. That's Holloway's roughing penalty, the time remaining, and we are underway. Miller plays it up the boards, and now it's controlled by Johankin, who has the game's only goal. And feeds it across to the right for Weigel. Sharp angled shot right on, and a save made by Reese Stevens. Actually, we have had a goaltending change for the West. It's Annika Wallstrom now in. As part of the rule, goaltenders, teams with two goaltenders have to split time. And now here's Ryan Miller. Over the line for the East. Miller getting to the far boards. Now cutting to the slot, takes a shot, and it doesn't get through to Wallstrom. And it's played over to the far side. minute 18 of power play remaining. Centering pass picked off in front by Heath, and now it's played over to the near sideboards. Check that. It's Grippentrog, 17 instead of 12. Backhanded by Davis. Rink wide to the far side. Callie Cardinal in the corner tries to play it ahead, and it comes on out to center. Kendall Johnson plays it over to the near side. Peterson over the line. Now plays it to the right edge, and London Tubbs goes behind the goal. 39 seconds left of power play time, and a 1-0 game for the East. Kira Johankin, the only goal, and now it comes to Cardinal, to the left of the goal, played ahead, held in, and now clear to the point. Lou will hold it there. Plays it down the wall, too far for Borgen, who's chase after it. Now picked up finally by Grippentrog and cleared, but not out. Now Lou, the right point, trying to hold his own, and it does come out to center with 15 seconds left on the power play. Now a rink wide pass is going to be picked up finally by Borgen. Plays it into the zone as the penalty is coming to an end in 3-2-1, and now back on the ice is Holloway and the West at full strength. Now played to the near side, and Peterson plays it in front where it's intercepted, and now a pass up the middle will come on out to center ice, and Johnson has it there. Playing it ahead on the near side, Borgen touches it on, and now it's picked up in the high slot, and trying to throw it in front was Wiblin, and now it winds up played back into the east zone, and it winds up to the left of the goal where Johnson will take over in the corner. Goes the short way up the wall for Borgen. Cleared to the point, and they'll play for it there. Finally, it comes on out to center, and here's Peterson. On the far wing. Peterson over the line. Gets to the dot, now winds up stopped in the circle. Has a player open in front, Wiblin, and now couldn't get it to her. And it winds up behind the net on the near side. As we come up on 3 minutes gone in the second, and here comes Custard over the line. Tried to sweep it in front, and that is picked up by Wiblin and played rink wide to center. And now here's Zoe Peterson over the line. 1 against 2, teammates were changing, and it winds up coming into the corner where it's controlled by the West, and now played into the circle. Finally picked up by Custard, who banks one to the blue line and out. Martindam playing it, and now here comes the West over the line again. And here's Nielsen putting it in front. Costa has to come back for it. Now it's loose on the near side, and it comes out to center. And here comes Charlotte Hansen over the line. Hansen to the near side, and swept away. Centering pass is going to come all the way through, and it's picked up there and cleared by Nielsen. It'll come all the way down the ice, and not far enough for icing. Shots 8-4 as they were at the end of the first half of play, and now it comes on out to center. And here is Klegstad. And that's picked off at center by Nielsen, who starts back for the West. Nielsen then goes down, and carrying on is Ruby Heath, and winds up taking a shot that's pinned against the outside of the net by Schiller, and we'll get a face-off. 13:55 now to go. From the face-off, here's a shot that's blocked in front off the stick of Grippentrog, and out of the near side, Hansen. Hansen starts back, and now Martindam takes the lead pass on the right, comes over the line, and then tried to sweep it across, and it comes out to center where Miller has it. Miller doing a couple of twists and turns to try to get away from Van Abel, and now plays it to center ice. Talafas tips it ahead, and it's Diaz picking it up. And now behind the goal, it's controlled by Martindam, looking to center it, and can't, as the West picks it up and carries. Costa's pass too far for Nugent, and then going after it there is Grippentrog, and will get there first. Grippentrog centers it, that's intercepted. And back comes the East with a chance to counterattack, and here comes Martindam. A pass to the right is led too far, and that's picked up by the West. They come over the line, a shot winds up going wide of the goal. And off to the far boards from Diaz, and now it's picked up by Johankin, who has the only goal in the game, closing in and comes wide and takes the shot. Bouncing puck right on goal, and the puck winds up off to the left, and the West starts back. 12.5 to go, and over the line they come. Nielsen, and it winds up knocked off her stick. Centering pass, stick behind by Schiller, and the East will try to clear out of the zone, and the West with 2 behind the goal, able to play it over to the near side. And finally controlled by Davis. Played down the wing and out. Now controlled by Lou and shot in. D to D pass stolen away by Weigel. Takes a shot that goes wide of Wallstrom's goal. And East trying to sweep it in front and can't get it there. And was Costa trying to play it ahead. Now it comes back out to neutral. And played ahead by Mallory Klegstad. And now over the line. Up the wall, and Davis tries to hold it. Now they come off the wall, and here is Zoe Peterson. It's down in front of the goal, and it comes back out. Lou trying to sweep it ahead. And now over to Klegstad on the right, puts on the brakes, shovels it up the wall, blocked by Costa and played towards the middle. And now it's controlled by Lainey Davis out to center. And here's Wiblin now losing out and controlling. It's Hadley Hone over the line. A lead pass a little bit too far, and it winds up in the left corner as Custard chases after. Now wins it back behind the net, centers it, and Peterson takes it behind the net for safekeeping. Now over to the near side. A pass up the middle is on the tape, and here comes the East down the wing as Wiblin cuts to the slot, closes in, and now it's broken up in front of the goal. Played behind Peterson, going after it there for the East, looking to center it. And it comes to the left edge where Wallstrom will get a stoppage. 10 minutes, 31 seconds to play in a 1-0 contest. Johankin with the only goal for the East at the 17:28 mark. And now puck is at center ice, played ahead by Miller into the zone, and now the East breaks in again. And here's Borgen. And it takes a shot along the ice, and Wallstrom has no trouble. Kills a few seconds, 10 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Coming up next is game number 3 out of 5 in the 2014 class. It's the East taking on the South. Evan O'Leary of the South with 6 points, including 5 goals this event. Now a shot right on and a save made by Wallstrom, and now it winds up behind the goal, and the West again in control. Clear to the right point, and it's played right back down by Kendall Johnson. 3 assists in this tournament. Now a puck comes loose, and finally controlled by the West. And here they come. And Johnson is there to pick it up for the East. And now a swing and a miss there by Grippentrog at the left point. Now a shot is saved by Schiller, and it comes back behind the net. And the East able to clear it off to the near boards for Hansen. And now played ahead, and here for the East is Martindam playing it in, and it winds up going off to the far side where Grippentrog controls for the West. At center, Kendall Johnson lost possession, and here comes the West. A swing around and shoot by Grippentrog winds up going wide. A nice play there, but now here comes the East back. And down the wing comes Davis taking a shot, and a paddle save by Wallstrom there off to the near side. Here's another centering pass by Johankin, and that one is tipped away. Follow-up shot from Weigel. Winds up going wide. And they'll play forward in the corner. Johankin tried to throw it in front of the net. Bouncing puck comes right back to her along the boards. Kira Johankin with it with a centering pass broken up in the circle. Lou at the top of the circle. Throws it in front, and a follow-up. And a chance there. Puck lying loose. And Johankin had a swipe at it, and so did Davis. And neither one of them was able to control it. And now played in over the east line, and it winds up going back to the corner as Nielsen picks it up for the West and then lost it out in the corner. Just over 8 minutes to go, and now the East comes back. A backhand pass to center ice, and over the red line, Davis playing it in, and then we'll chase after. It'll go wide of the goal, and Van Abel will pick it up now for the West. Played off to the far side, and finally carried on out to center. And that's Diaz bringing it over the line. Diaz tries to play it to the front of the net, and Van Abel lost it in her skates, comes out, and now here's Borgen. Cutting towards the middle, goes down, and I have seen that called body checking before in a girls' game. And it winds up along the near boards and comes back into the east zone and cleared to center. Peterson has it there, plays to the middle. That's a nice pass, picked up by Wiblin over the line. Borgen on the left. Here's a shot right on, and Borgen takes a poke at the rebound and knocks it behind the net. Borgen again centers. That's in the goal crease, and Wallstrom gets a glove on it and gets a stoppage with 7:04 to go. Poked over to the near side boards. And the West trying to make some headway here, but pinned up against the boards, and Peterson fishes it out for the East and then lost possession. Back comes the West, and everybody hustles back. Well, played into the zone, and it will wind up going wide of the East goal. And that is a turnover behind the net. Costa trying to center it. They score! Libby Custard. And it's 1-1. .636 to go. We're tied at 1. Time is 11 minutes and 24 seconds, and we have a new game. Second goal of the event for Custard. Costa and Tubbs get assists. And in the meantime, Wallstrom makes a save while I'm listening to the announcement. So it's a 1-1 game with 6:13 to go. The face-off coming up to the right of the West goal. Or south of the goal in geographic terms, as the puck picked up now at the high slot area and carried out by the West with some momentum here. Now it's broken up in the slot by Talafas and played off to the near side by Hansen. And it's played ahead, and here comes Talafas down the wing. Jenny Talafas tries to center it, and that's blocked by Grace Nielsen. Came right back to her. Now they come in along the boards, and it's played behind the net. Nielsen controlling for the West, but then lost out. Swung around the boards to Gotch. And then down the wall. Played ahead by Grippentrog, and now controlled by Grace Nielsen. Played to the blue line, turned back by Klegstad. Now that is a four-car pileup along the boards. It comes to the high slot. Hansen tries to play it through towards the near side and does get it over to Martindam. Now a centering pass. It comes loose at the right edge, and with 5 minutes left, here comes the West. Grippentrog over the line. Grippentrog gets by Gotch and now takes a shot that goes wide to the near side. Another centering pass in front, and trying to spin and shoot there is Ruby Heath. And that is taken away, but Heath wins it back. Good hard work there. Puck comes up the slot, controlled by Klegstad. And now the East comes back. Klegstad over the line, sweeps it ahead. That's going to be offside if they touch it. They do, and it is. So we'll get a face-off at neutral ice. 4 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the second half of a 1-1 tie. And Lou shoots it ahead. Over the line comes Laney Davis. Takes the shot, and it skitters wide of Wallstrom's goal. Karam to Weigel. Drops it up the slot, and a shot that goes wide from Johnson. Now, played ahead, and that's going to come all the way back into the zone. And will it be icing? It will. So we'll get a stoppage. 16-7 for the East, the shots, which means 8-3 here in the second half of play. But the West has the only goal. It was Libby Custard's second goal. Costa and Tubbs assisting at 11:24. Jahankin on for the faceoff. She has the East goal. Now behind the net, Nielsen. Far side, Van Abel. 4 minutes left. Van Abel plays it past Johnson. Goes after it in the circle. Has a player cruising the slot, and it comes loose in front. And Nugent nearly able to steer that ahead. Diaz also in that play. Now it comes to the blue line and played into the East zone. And it's backhanded ahead to the line and held in. And played back down by Kiefer. Now a rink-wide pass to center ice, and that's going to be picked up by Weigel. Feeds it to the middle for Jahankin, and then cannot play it past past Cora Diaz, and now it's played back to center ice. It gets past Holloway, and here's a race for it as Davis trying to get to it and winds up in the right corner. Davis going after it, gets possession. Davis tried to muscle it in front with 3 minutes left and couldn't get it past Cora Diaz, and now at center, Diaz will flare one into the zone. Both teams are changing lines. And now it's Peterson over the line, takes a shot, and it hits the outside of the goal. Now another centering pass in front is picked off by Custard, and it's played back behind the net with 2:40 left. Here comes the West, starting right back up. And over the line, that is Grippentrog. Puck comes loose in front, and is controlled by the East, and they try to start back but can't get out of the zone. Now finally it's played ahead by Wiblin and out to center ice. Now D-to-D pass on the right, and the West controlling with 2:18 to go. And now Ryan Miller along the boards having a little trouble. Now it's picked up by Peterson, who starts back with just over 2 minutes to go. Peterson closing in. Peterson centers it, and unable to get a stick on it on the far side. There was Borgen, and now a centering pass comes through to the near side on a race forward along the boards. And let's see who's got it now. It's picked up in the right corner by Custard. Spinning there. Peterson tries to head her off. Puck comes to the hash mark. Miller can't hold it, and here comes the West back with 1:40 to go. Now a pass down the near wing, and taking it is Hadley Hone over the line. And from the hash mark centered, it's picked off at the dot, and here comes Miller back for the East. 2-on-2 with Borgen over the line. Borgen takes it. Borgen to the dot. Back in front for Miller. It's on the wrong side. Comes to the far side, and here's Martindam with it. And it winds up behind the net. Here comes the West with one more shot. With 1:15 left, and over the line they'll come with Custard. Back check by Miller. Puck comes all the way to the right edge, and a shot by Custard and a save by Presley Schiller. As we hit the last minute. And now here is Miller. Banking one ahead, and now Hansen tries to backhand it off the boards. Gets it ahead, and now here's Talafas. And over the line, Talafas tied up along the boards, and now it's picked up and cleared. 40 seconds to play. And here comes the West back. Nielsen angling over the line to the far side, picked up by Miller. And then Miller overskated. Here's Nielsen in the corner with 30 seconds to play. And Nielsen has it, looks to center, and that was blocked by Martindam, and now it winds up in the corner. Talafas trying to back check, and it's pinned deep in the zone. Talafas has it with 18 seconds to go and banks it up the boards looking for Hansen, and now it's played out. Here's a 2-on-1. And here's Hansen, the back pressure, trying to catch up. Hansen throws it across, and a shot by Martindam goes wide with 6 seconds to go. And now it's picked up by the West with 2-1, and that will do it. We have a 1-1 tie after two halves of play. Shots are 16-8. They were 8-4 in both halves favoring the East. All right, so the rules have a 3-minute running time overtime that's played 3-on-3. If you've seen any NHL games recently, you know a 3-on-3 overtime is all about possession. And it'll be interesting to see how these teams handle it. Johankin for the East, Custard for the West. And for this one, the teams will change ends. They didn't in the first half. Wahlstrom will now go to the goal to our right, and Presley Schiller in the goal to our left. Excuse me, 4 skaters aside, not 4 players aside. I misheard, and now here comes the West over the line, and it's immediately offside as Grippentrog brought it in, and Hadley Hone was in too early. Running time. .240 to go in it. Davis wins the faceoff for the East, and it comes back into the zone, and Lou has it there. Oh, front of the net, plays it over to Weigel. It was a high-pressure pass. Weigel will take it behind the net and now come out the far side. Banks it off the boards, and it comes out to center where it's picked up by Grippentrog. Now over to the near side, and then Grippentrog gets it back. It's stolen away by Weigel. And Weigel closing in, has help behind her, and then takes a shot, bounces wide, and goes behind the net. 2:10 to go in the overtime, and here's Hone on the near side, playing it ahead, and it's controlled by Diaz. Over the line, and Lou swats it to the boards, but Diaz picks it up and then shoots it around behind the net. It's picked up there by Hadley Hone along the boards with 1:55 left. Centering pass gets past Cora Diaz, and now comes up the slot. Grippentrog shoots, and a save made by Schiller. Now here is a attempt by Diaz at the right post. That's broken up, and now here comes the East back. And it's Weigel over the line. Weigel with a player breaking. Davis for the slot. Takes a shot. Rebound. Davis shoots. Oh, a great stop by Annika Wahlstrom. Oh, the puck was right on Weigel's stick. And Wahlstrom dove to block it and made a very fine stop with 1:23 to go. Face-off coming up to the left of the goal. Puck comes in front and played ahead by Kiefer, and it comes out to center ice. Now Kendall Johnson forced back to the corner with a minute to go now in the overtime. Puck held along the wall, and here's a chance down low. Here's a shot. They score! And the game is over. Grace Nielsen. And the West wins it in overtime. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And the West is your winner, despite being outshot 19-10. Unassisted goal, and the West wins this game by 2-1 in overtime. So now the all-tournament presentation, and we'll have a Player of the Game award, and of course the trophy, which is won by the West as they come from behind and win it 2-1 in overtime. We'll get down to ice level for that, and then we'll come back with our third game in the 14s, East versus South. That's coming up next here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
I would now like to announce the all-tournament team at the girls 2015 level. When you hear your name called, please come forward. First, from Team East, number 9, Zoe Peterson. From Team West, number 7, Cora Diaz. From Team East, number 16, Ashlyn Martindale. Team West, number 8, Aubrey Holloway. Team East, number 2, Ryan Miller. And from Team West, also our tournament MVP, number 30, Annika Wallstrom. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2015 girls all-tournament team. Congratulations. And with the champion Team West, please come to center ice for the champion's photograph. Thank you very much.